get that any better? Can I get that? I can't get it like... Oh, there we go. Hello. Hello. No, just leave it. What the hell's going on here? Hello. Don't really want it like in front of my face. Hello, and welcome to Trash Compactor. I know it's been a while. What can I say? Yeah, let's just get into it, I guess. I'm going to be going in order of stuff that I've watched recently. This is only going to be stuff I've watched in the last 4 days. Obviously, I've watched a lot more since I was last on this channel, but you know, really mainly it's been the last 4 days that I want to talk about. The first thing that I saw in the last 4 days, I went to see Cruella, which is, well, I was looking forward to this a lot more than I probably should have. I'm not like a big Disney fan, but I like the idea, and the trailers look good, and it didn't look like, you know, just another, you know, maybe they weren't always bad kind of thing. It looked like they were actually leaning into it. The trailers looked a lot darker than the actual film, I think, but overall, I think it's very good, and I was very impressed by a lot of things. And yeah, to me, it ticked all the boxes. I did see on Twitter before I went to see it that, spoilers, by the way, Cruella's mum was killed by Dalmatians, which in my opinion is the funniest thing I've ever seen. There's a lot of needle drops in it, but I thought they were justified for what they were doing when they're not really in other films, so I definitely thought that that was a major thing that I enjoyed that maybe other people wouldn't so much. The performances are fantastic. Everyone is clearly having a lot of fun. It's a great aesthetic. I don't know if they're setting up for a sequel. I wouldn't like one because it seems very weird that she would go from this sympathetic character to what she is in the original, which is just wanting to murder puppies, which is something she doesn't do in the film. So, yeah, overall, it's not too bad. 4 out of 5. Or is that too much? Oh, these scores are messed up anyway, whatever. 6 out of 5. Cruella is a 6 out of 5 film. Go and watch it. The second film that I went to see was Godzilla vs. Kong. What can I say? It was fine, I guess, for what it was. I wasn't expecting Citizen Kane levels of storytelling, but it's not good. It's just ridiculous. The human characters are very annoying, and they had their own subplot, and I'm not interested in that. I came to see the fighting. I think they definitely do deliver on the big CGI battles, which is not really something I'm a fan of, but I think they did it well here because it felt justified. Like, it's a Godzilla versus Kong movie. Like, I knew what I was going into. Music was fantastic, and it really helped with the CGI, which was all like inch perfect. It looks incredible for what it is, and that was definitely something to its benefit. I think it had too many dumb jokes, mainly with Brian Tyree Henry, who I quite like most of the time, but in this, him and Millie Bobby Brown and the kid from What We Do in the Shadows, he wasn't in that. Anyway, you know who he is. Anyway, they were all very annoying, and as somebody who's only seen one of these other Monster Universe movies, I didn't feel left out. Like, they definitely said, look, we know what people are here for. They're here for the big explosions. They don't waste time on exposition. They don't waste time on a lot. They just kind of get going, and it's all stupid, and the more you think about it, the more dumb the story is. But, you know, it's enjoyable while you're watching it, I think, and I think it was perfectly adequate. 2 out of 5. 2.5 out of 5, actually, because I said it's perfectly adequate. It's not good, but it's fine, I guess. I don't understand the appeal. I gotta go and show you something that I got during the break on this channel for a sec. I need very, very serious help, and I hope you appreciate that. Yep, there's 2 more films that I saw since I left, and the first of those was Bo Burnham's Inside. Now, I really like Bo Burnham. I love his comedy, I love his songs, I love his introspective stuff, and going into this special, I was very excited, and I thought maybe it's not going to be as comedic, but I still thought it was going to be a lot funnier than it was. Basically what this is, the premise of this is, it's Bo losing his mind the longer that he spends in lockdown. But then when he comes out, he realizes that lockdown was kind of what he was craving all along, and he's very scared to go back outside and back into that very judgmental world. I think it quite probably could be his final piece of comedy, or if you can call it that he ever does, because he's very kind of resigned, and it definitely looks like he's just had enough of this. And I don't think the special could have come out at a better time, because a couple of Bo's songs have just started trending as quite a big thing on TikTok, and I don't think he wants that at all, and I think he's very sad about what this has led to, because the messages that he's been sending out are very contradicting to what the fans want. And the fans that have kind of idolized him, but he's been telling us, I'm a fan for years, that maybe we shouldn't idolize him in certain ways. And Art is Dead is just a perfect example of that, and you should listen to it. You should listen to all of his music, and you should go and watch this special. It's on Netflix. Yeah, so that's kind of the background of what it is. In terms of content, I was expecting it to be funnier, but I wasn't surprised that it wasn't, because, he's always been a very introspective person. And I'm surprised how I feel like a lot of artists and comedians during the pandemic have kind of reverted into telling jokes and trying to keep people happy. You've got John Krasinski and other comedians who've been doing their own specials and their own shows and their own jokes from home. Bo really sets that aside and just says this is a horrible period. I said this is a really, really horrible time. And there's definitely comedy in this, but overall it's a much sadder and it's a much more interesting and thoughtful thing than what I was expecting it to be, even from him. It just kind of shot my expectations. At times, it can drag. It's very long for what it is. To me, there are only a couple of standout songs, and overall, just as the quality of it, and I get the message that he's going for and stuff, and I understand all of that. I'm just saying, it drags. It's not the best thing that he's ever done. I think his other specials are better, but I'm not going to criticize him for that, because this is obviously very intimate. I think people have misread it. I think people have shown, or at least thought, that the person in the special is actually Bo. I think Bo is playing a fictionalized version of himself, and I think he's not filmed it over a year, because the whole premise of it's him over the year getting slowly and slowly more insane and going into his brain like that, but that's not true. I don't think so. I think he definitely scripted it out and wrote it down. I don't think, he said like there's a moment in it where he's like, I've been working on this special for over a year, and I think that's scripted. I think it's very obvious that it's scripted. I thought it was scripted while I was watching it, and it's a great piece of storytelling. I just think some people are seeing it as real, but I think this character is an extension of Bo's real self, and through this character, he can say what he wants to say. That being said, there are still some good singers in there, and there are some good comedic jokes. But overall, it's very sad and very interesting. And I just want to say before it ends, the ending of it is absolutely perfect. It's honestly incredible. The final shot, the very final shot, is absolutely perfect. And if Bo did film this all by himself, I think he did. I'm not doubting that, but because he said he did. It's all over the credits. This is 100% him. If he did do it, and if he did come up with that on his own, I think that just solidifies the fact that he is a genius. And I'm very happy that he's got a long career ahead of him. I think this has proven as well that he can move away from comedy and become an actual proper filmmaker, which I didn't doubt. He's great in Promising Young Woman. Eighth Grade is a great film. If you haven't seen that already, that's on Netflix too. He just needed to prove to his fans that he doesn't want to do comedy anymore in a very certain way. And I think this is finally going to get the message across of what he's been trying to say for years, which is don't idolize me. I want to get away from this. Lightening it up a bit now, though. The last film I went to see for this list was A Quiet Place 2. I should say, before I start this review, I have not seen Quiet Place 1. I know everything that happens in it, but I thought that this was a prequel, because all of the trailers showed the prequel stuff, which is only the first 10 minutes of the film. And I saw it with somebody else who hadn't seen the first one, but they didn't know anything. and they were very confused, and you know almost instantly because it cuts from the prequel stuff to the end of the first film very quickly, and that definitely would throw people who haven't seen it, so that's my bad, honestly. But I am going to watch the first one again. I think this is very good. It doesn't rely on the horror elements as much as I thought it would, like the jump scares and stuff. It's scary in places, and there's the intensity and the tension that's really built up throughout the entire thing. And I think John Krasinski is very clever at writing that and perfecting that. But mostly, it is a story about family, and a story about what a family can do, and all about togetherness and kind of carrying on from where you left off in the first Quiet Place. And I think it handles that really well. It doesn't have to set up horror stories as such, because it's more about the family and the interconnectivity, and I feel like it's not a big studio film, so I reckon it's going to stick to that if they do make a third one. But the themes are perfect, and Cillian Murphy is fantastic. All of the performances in this are absolutely fantastic. I forget the name of somebody Millicent. I'm so sorry. She does not deserve to be called that. I deserve to know. I'm going to look up her name because she's the best part of the film. Oh well, I don't know her name, but I deserve to know her name because she's great. I'll call her Millicent Bulstrode because I know her name is Millicent, and I think that's a Harry Potter character. There's a photo of Millicent Bulstrode on the screen here. It's not her, but that's all I know. So Millicent Bulstrode is the best part of this. She's absolutely perfect. I know she's a deaf actress, and that just completely adds to it. And the pairing of her and Cillian Murphy going around and doing this is absolutely perfect. There are some things that I didn't quite understand, but I think if they do a third one, they might expand on that. And there was a cameo appearance by Jimin Husundu, who I wasn't expecting to be in this. And overall, it's a very good experience. I watched it with a great crowd, and I think you need to watch it in a movie theatre because just the collective tension, and there were people visibly jumping, and I could see complete silence. We had an absolutely amazing audience, and overall, I would say 4.5 out of 5. Did I give a score to Inside? 4 out of 5. 4 out of 5. So, I'm on half term at the minute, so I've got stuff coming up, but I hope to make more videos like this. I'm planning another short film that I could do. I'm definitely writing more, and I want to do more videos because it gives me a lot of happiness when I see you guys interacting. And please like, please subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Put this down here.